this ex situ conservation is said to be off-site conservation. So, what is the variation between on-site and off-site conservation? Where in situ conservation, we are going to conserve the species where they are naturally inhabited. We are not disturbing them from their original or natural habitations. Whereas here, in methods of ex situ conservation, we brought them into other habitations and we allow them to grow there only. So this is offsite conservation. We will brought them where from naturally grown and we will allow to grow them at some place, some other place under our controlled conditions. So this is considered as ex situ conservation or off-site conservation. So these off-site conservation are mainly classified into botanical gardens, zoological parks, and gene banks. These three. But ours is concerned only botanical gardens and gene banks. You need not study about zoological parks. Whereas in paper A1, we have studied including zoological parks also, because where we have to study the conservation of entire biodiversity. But here we need not focus on entire biodiversity for the conservation of entire biodiversity. We have to focus on only the conservation of medicinally important plants. Medicinally important plants. The unit itself indicates that conservation of rare and endangered medicinal plants. So that we are concerned for only botanical gardens and gene banks in access to conservation. Let we see about botanical gardens. The first one is botanical gardens. So in botanical gardens, these botanical gardens are exclusively meant for to grow or to conserve the rare and endangered medicinal plants, ornamental plants, economically important plants such as wood yielding, fiber yielding, or fruit yielding, nuts yielding, what on. So many yield plants are also being conserved in these botanical gardens. But the main aim of establishment of botanical gardens are to conserve rare and endangered plant species. So this is the main objective of establishment of botanical gardens. So in this, if you want to see the history of botanical gardens, that is the establishment of botanical gardens during 1543. That means nearly 5 centuries ago. It has its own ancient history. During 1543, in in Leucogenisepho, that is Italy, in the country of Italy, Leucogenisephala, Leucogenisepha is the place of Italy. Here, the Leucogeny Botanical Garden. So here, on the honorarium of Leucogeny, who is Leucogeny? This Leucogeny is one of the medicine professor. He has established the botanical gardens for the first time in the world. So this is said to be the first established botanical garden in the world at place is Sifa. So place is Sifa. Leucogeny is the name of the professor who belongs to medicinal professor. His interest is to conserve medicinal plants because he is a medical doctor. He wanted to conserve some important medicinal plants at his own garden. So this is said to be the first and foremost botanical garden in the world. And during 1545, after 2 years of the establishment of this botanical garden, two more universities are also established these botanical gardens. The one is Purdue and the second one is Florence. These Purdue and Florence, both botanical gardens, are belongs to Europe. So and this credit was goes to Europe. The European countries are also established these botanical gardens in more number and in better number. Even today, if we want to see the number of botanical gardens, most number of botanical gardens are considered in European countries. Then comes into United States, and the third place comes into Brazil, and the fourth place comes to China, and fifth place comes to India. So, in the number of botanical gardens and the conservation of ex situ conservation, India occupies fifth place in the world, whereas the first is Europe. First is Europe. It should be remembered by you. And the next important aspect is what is the main objectives and aims of botanical gardens. As you know, to conserve the rare and endangered medicinal plants in the botanical gardens, and what is the procedure that they follow to conserve any kind of plant species. They conserve plant species with their original name, vernacular name. You know the differentiation between vernacular name and common name or original name. Vernacular name is the name where the plant is called with its local name. So the local name and vernacular name are one and same. But the common name is varies. That is, the common name is which is commonly called the plant at anywhere. So you know botanical name. So the botanical name is given, and the family is also assigned what that plant is belongs to which family, and other particulars are to be recorded for a one rare and endangered plant species, and if they require, they conduct breeding methods also to improve its progeny or to improve its population. So, when we collect one or two plant species from the wild condition, it is not sufficient to conserve those plant species. Then we can conduct some breeding experiments, and we get progeny, and next generations, and the population will be increased, and these populations will be conserved for a long time. So, botanical gardens are considered as motherlands for the rare and endangered plant species. So when we want to see any rare or endangered plant species, you can directly go to botanical garden because of it is said to be the motherland for the any kind of rare and endangered medicinal plant. But you cannot collect and see in the field, original field or at forest regions or in wild conditions. We can only observe those plant species in botanical gardens only. So as the botanical gardens got its own significance and importance for the ex situ conservation as one of the methods of ex situ conservation. Also, the botanical gardens are useful to sustainable conservation. You know what is sustainable conservation? Whenever we use the word sustainable is known as the sustainable word implies that it is not for only present generation. You must keep in mind the need and necessities of future generations also. So botanical gardens are mainly useful to protect these conservation or original genetic resources. When we lose the original genetic resource, once we cannot find the same original genetic resource again, we could conduct so many experiment plants, and we can obtain the we what we want, the new characters, but we cannot get the original germplasm where it is in wild condition. So, to protect the original germplasm, botanical gardens are the right places and the right method of conservation. So, in this way, the same original germplasm can be obtained by future generations also. So, this is the main objective of botanical gardens, not for our observations. It has to be observed by other generations, like our future generations also. So this is the main objective, and keeping all these views in mind, the botanical gardens have been established. By the result of botanical gardens, we can preserve or we can conserve for a long time the original germplasm of rare and endangered plant species. So, what are the fundamental requirements for the establishment of a botanical garden? How can we establish a botanical garden? What are the favorable conditions? And how can we establish? What are the fundamental requirements? What requires to establish a botanical garden? We can see. The first requirement, you have to assign numbers. I will ask again at the last how many points have come. You have to respond. You put a small side heading as requirements for the establishment of botanical gardens. What is the requirement? The first requirement is it requires minimum of 100 to 175 hectares of land. Minimum of 100 to 175 hectares of land is required as a first and foremost requirement. It is the first and foremost requirement. And second one, you can see we will undergo, and the soil of the area what we have selected for the establishment of botanical garden, it should be undergo some soil testing. By soil testing, it is noticed that some minerals, metals, water availability and water holding capacity or should be in proper condition, or on the other, the sufficient irrigation, the sufficient irrigation facility should be there. The soil should have sufficient minerals. The soil should have sufficient metals. The soil should have sufficient nutrients such as other macro and micro elements. You know, any kind of plant has to grow. It requires so many micro elements. You know, the mega elements are prominently three or four, but other micro elements are also required. So how can we came to know all this? When we go for soil testing? After we go for soil testing, we came to know that all these sufficient requirements are there or not. Whether the all the requirements are there or not. And the third one, here also you can see a good 10% of water holding capacity. It should be written as under third point. I have discussed about water holding capacity in second point, but the water holding capacity and water availability or irrigation facility is again mentioned here. It should be about 10% of water holding is to be there always in all during all seasons in the year. 10% of water holding capacity should be maintained in all seasons of the year. So this should be said to be one of the major requirement, one of the major requirement for the establishment of botanical gardens. And we see when we select a place for the establishment of botanical garden, it should be a good longitude and altitude. What is meant by longitude and altitude? How much of height and how much of distance and what much of altitude from the sea level is also recorded. Is also recorded. If not, the plant should not be grow in proper. So we have to record the requirements such as the longitudinal, latitudinal, and the sea levels. The sea levels also to be considered while establishment of a botanical garden, and also some other requirements are also there. These botanical gardens, while we are going to establishment of botanical gardens, we can predict and we can assess that how many of medicinal plants and how many of ornamental plants, how many of crop plants and how many of other economic important plants has to be grown in this botanical garden, because these botanical garden you have to pre-planned before going to establishment only, because of the every kind of plant species or community of plant species requires a separate black. For example, all the ornamental plants has to be grown at a separate black. All medicinal plants are grown at another separate place, and other wood yielding plants are grown another place, and other fiber yielding or other food plants, medicinal plants, economically important plants, so on. All the plants has to grow at separate blocks, so that you have to pre-planned before going to establishment what kind of plants has to be grown in this botanical garden, and how much area for each category of plants is required. Also you have to record before going to establishment the botanical garden. So it is one of the other major requirement for the establishment of botanical gardens. And the other one is you have to procure and you have to construct some greenhouse, some glass house, some mist chambers, and phytotrances. Why all these required? What is the use of all these special constructions or special habitations? These are the special habitations to grow the various kinds of medicinal plants and other economically important plants. They are not able to grow well in all kind of atmospheres and environments. Some will require some less temperature, some require some less humidity, some require some high temperature, high humidity, so that you have to maintain in order to acclimatize the plants towards the natural habitations or natural environments. So what is acclimatization? Acclimatization is nothing but the gradual adaptation, not once adaptation, the gradual adaptation from the lower temperatures, lower pressures, and lower humidity conditions to higher temperatures, higher humidity conditions, as well as to come natural environment and natural atmospheric conditions. So, this gradual adaptation is termed as acclimatization. To achieve these acclimatization conditions, to achieve this kind of acclimatization condition, all these equipment should be procured. What kind of equipment? What kind of equipment? One should has to respond. What I have told now, right now, what are the special equipment and what are the special constructions in the botanical garden? What I have just mentioned. One of you should respond. Anil, are you hearing or sleeping? Say. Say one of the equipment, special equipment, greenhouse. And next, Padma, say what is the other special equipment? Phyto, phyto. You are not hearing properly. Where are you? Phone and yourself are at the same place or different places? Right. Phytotrans. If it is not clear, you can ask me again. Phytotrans, greenhouse. The next one, glass house. Morally, one of the equipment is glass house, and the next one more is there. One more is there. What is the other one? Hmm? Good, mist chamber. Right. You are hearing. Then the other requirement for the establishment of botanical gardens are some implements, instruments, are the another synonym word for the implements. The instruments which are specially designed for a particular work are known as implements. If you take agriculture, so some kind of instruments are required for agriculture. So we called them as implements, not instruments. So implements are nothing but the instruments which are specially designed for a particular work, to perform a particular work. So in this way, you have to require some special implements. What are the implements? What are the special implements in botanical garden or in horticulture? They are also useful in horticulture. These are all specially designed implements, some kind of scissors, towers, towers, cutters, diggers, diggers, all these water flowing buckets, all these are procured at pre-planned. So these are the major requirements for the establishment of botanical gardens. And you can come now for the types of botanical gardens. So you have to put a small side heading as types of botanical gardens. So here botanical gardens are classified into two major kinds. Two major kinds. The first one is ornamental botanical gardens. Ornamental botanical gardens. The second one is experimental botanical gardens. Experimental botanical gardens. So you see first one by one we have to see. The first one, what is first one? Ornamental botanical gardens. So these ornamental botanical gardens, some thousands of ornamental plants for the beautification are grown grown in the process of landscaping. So these are all ornamental plants, which includes medicinal plants also. Medicinal plants also comes here. So the medicinal plants are also comes in the second kind of experimental botanical gardens. Here, here the kinds are classified not on the basis of the type of plant, the type of management. So this classification is given on the basis of management of botanical gardens, how they managed. Both types, that is in ornamental type of botanical gardens are also some other medicinal plants, some other economically important plants are grown. And you can see in second type, that is in experimental botanical gardens also, some other plants has to be grown. But here, the classification was made on the basis of management of the botanical gardens. How we are going to manage, how we are going to manage all these gardens. So the first one is ornamental gardens. How they manage? They manage by landscaping. By landscaping, they grow some thousands of plant species which are useful for beautification, for medicine, and also other economically important plants. You can uh, take some examples. This ixora, hibiscus, various hybrid varieties of roses, Helicarnia rostrella, Spanish species of jasmine, Arabian jasmine, yellow jasmine, and other species such as coleus species. These are all comes under first type of botanical gardens. Those are ornamental botanical gardens. The second one, when we when I say that these botanical gardens are classified on the type of management, then what would you came to understand the second one? The second one name itself indicates that experimental botanical gardens. You can say the experimental botanical gardens means some other experiments, the such as hybridization experiments or any other crop improvement experiments or any other biotechnological experiments such as tissue culture experiments or genetic engineering experiments will be conducted to grow them in large number and to increase their population. In order to increase their population, so many kinds of experiments will be conducted. So many kinds of experiments will be conducted in order to improve its population. So, with main objective of this population will be grown for a long time for so many generations as sustainable management, as sustainable management. So, this kind of gardens are comes under experimental botanical gardens. Especially, what kind of plants are undergone for the experiments here? The plants that are going to be extinct, that is endangered plants which are going to be extinct, which are in the edges of the vulnerable, edges of the vulnerable. You know what is vulnerable, what is extinct, what is ready to extinct, all these, what is critically endangered, all this kind of classification we have seen in last classes. So, the critically endangered plants, the experiments will be conducted on critically endangered plants, vulnerable plants, endangered plants, extinct plants, which are going to be ready to extinct. Such kind of plants are all undergone for the experiments, and these experimental results will be recorded and it will be procured for a long time. So, BSI during 1960 in Pune, they have established one experimental botanical garden. In India, the first and foremost experimental botanical garden was established at Pune by BSI. You know what is BSI? Botanical Survey of India, BSI, and where the rare and endangered plant species have conserved there, with the main objective of these rare and endangered medicinal plants have conserved there, especially some plant species that are rare and endangered plant species that were conserved in the Pune experimental botanical garden were also mentioned here. You have to note it down. What are these? Ceropegia vincephalia, cerophagia, CERO PHEGIA, Ceropegia, vincephalia, VINCOFALIA. This is one species, and the second one is Xylotome nodum, PSY, Xylotome. You see the spelling PSY, PSYLOTOME, Xylotome nodum, NEUDOM, nodum. And the third one is, you know, the very popular plant species, that is Rauwolfia serpentina. Rauwolfia serpentina. I need not say the spelling again. And fourth one, Santalum album. Santalum album. What is this? What is the common name for Santalum album? One of you should respond. Santalum album, why? Good. మరే ఎంతసేప అన్మ్యూట్ అయ్యి చెప్పడానికి. ది నెక్స్ట్ వన్, వేనిల్లా ఫ్యావిఫ్లోనియా. Vanilla Faviflonia. So the vanilla. These are the 5 species which were grown for the first time at Experimental Botanical Garden, Pune, which was established by BSI. Is it understood? Then we go for what are the international botanical gardens. Some we will came to know that we have to know about some international botanical gardens. You have to keep a small side heading as international botanical gardens. The first one is Royal Botanical Garden, Q, KEW, Q, England. So this is said to be a largest botanical garden in the world. You know the history of this Royal Botanical Garden Q. Q is the place where the Q city at England. The name of the garden is Royal Botanical Garden. So when you remember, when you recall Bentham and Hooker's, these Bentham and Hooker's natural system of classification have gave in two volumes of Genera Plantarum. So this Genera Plantarum was published while these two gentlemen, Bentham and Hooker, worked at Kew Botanical Garden as herbarium curators. ఈ బెంతామిడి హొక్కర్లు ఇక్కడే పనిచేశారు. ఇక్కడ పనిచేసిన సమయంలోనే జెనెరా ఆఫ్ ప్లాంటరం మనకు 2 గ్రంథాలు కూడా వచ్చాయి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద లార్జెస్ట్ బొటానికల్ గార్డెన్ విచ్ వాస్ సెట్ టు బి ఏ mother place of Genera of Plantarum. This is the mother place for Genera of Plantarum. This is the largest botanical garden. In this, there are about 9 millions of plant species. About 9 millions of plant species are being conserved. You can assess how much large botanical garden is there. And the second one, CIAT, International Center for Tropical Agriculture. Tropical Agriculture. Are you able to write it? Are you able to follow me? If it is being fast, I will become slow. So this is the CIAT is located at Colombo. At Colombo. Where is this Colombo? What is Colombo? Colombo is the capital for yes, Ceylon or Sri Lanka. Then third one, ICARDA. ICARDA. The full form of ICARDA is International Center for, write down, International Center for Agricultural Research, so this is located at Syria, and working on dry and arid plant species. And the next one is ICRISAT. You know ICRISAT. What is ICRISAT? What is the full form of ICRISAT? Where this is located? ICRISAT, Hyderabad. So you expand this ICRISAT. Say the full form of ICRISAT. That is the position. You are in third year. Within 2 or 3 months, you are go outside with a degree certificate. But you are not in a position to say the full form of ICRISAT. These are all mentioned in intermediate classes only. Write down. International Crop Research Institute. International Crop Research Institute for Semi and Arid Tropics. Arid, not completely arid, semi arid. అర్ధ శుష్క మండలాలలో పెరిగేటువంటి పంటలపైన మొక్కలపైన ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్స్ జరుగుతున్నాయి. సో ఇన్ పేపర్ A1 ఆల్సో వీ హ్యావ్ మెన్షన్డ్ ది సెక్రిసాట్, బట్ యు ఆర్ ఫర్గెటెడ్. ఏ రోజు ఆ రోజు అక్కడిదక్కడే మర్చిపోండి. రేపు ఫస్ట్ నుంచి పరీక్షలు. ఒక్కరోజు ముందు రోజు నైట్ చదివేస్తారే. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ సిచ్యువేటెడ్ at Hyderabad, that is at the area of the Patancheru. That location is called as Patancheru of Hyderabad. So this is worked on 5 semi-arid tropics, arid tropics crops, which is under the collaboration with Africa country. So it is considered as international botanical research botanical garden or experimental botanical garden. So at the experimental botanical garden, what is going there? In experimental botanical garden, we have classified, as I rightly said in the beginning of the classification of botanical gardens. So where it based on the management, type of management, which means here in experimental botanical gardens, so many kinds of experiments and research will be going on. By the experiments and research, they came to conclude for the conservation of original germplasm, even for new species, which obtained by the experiments. The next one, IRRI. What is the full form of IRRI? IRRI. Rice research. Very good. Where is this? Where is it? Where is it? Yes, Philippines. The name of the city is Manila. Manila is the capital of Philippines. So the huge research is going on rice. Nearly 5,000 rice varieties are there, you know. So the about 5,000 of rice varieties are also going to experiments here. All the rice varieties are exporting from here only. The next one. Cities. Cities means, how can you write it? CITES. These cities also came once in paper 8A1 under the conservation. The full form of cities: convention in trade and endangered species. Where the species, even it may be plant species or animal species, where they are going to trade and commerce, such plant species have to be conserved. So this is the main objective. What is the main objective of cities? The main objective of cities is to conserve the species that are going to be trade and commerce. Most of the species, even it may be plant or animal, are going to be trade and commerce by its economic importance or commercial importance. So this institute, this is the international institute which escape those plants from the trade and commerce. That is the main objective of this institute. And we go for national experimental botanical gardens. What we have seen up to now are international experimental botanical gardens. Now we go for national experimental botanical gardens. You keep a side heading as national experimental botanical gardens. The first one Indian Botanical Garden, Indian Botanical Garden, where it is? Can you say Indian Botanical Garden? So some disturbance is there. All of you should mute. Only those who are want to interact with me or come to unmute and say. Indian Botanical Garden. Where is this Indian Botanical Garden? Murali? Murali respond. Anil Kumar? Hmm? Howrah, Calcutta. So this is treated as the largest botanical garden in India. Here, herbarium is also procured where 1 million model herbarium is going to be preserved here. 1 million of herbarium. If you want to see the wonderful herbarium, you have to go for Indian Botanical Garden, Calcutta. And the second one is NBRI. NBRI, National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow. Lucknow. It is also considered previously as National Botanical Garden of India. It has two names. The previous name is National Botanical Garden of India and the present name is NBRI. NBRI, National Botanical Research Institute, because it is an experimental botanical garden. And the next one is BSI. I need not say again. BSI, Botanical Survey of India. It is also located in Calcutta. So, the main objective or function of this institute, BSI, is to procure all the botanical species or the botanicals or plant species, how they grown, and the monitoring of all the species which are exist in the India. So this is the main objective, monitoring of all plant species which are exist in the India. So this is the main objective of BSI, which is there at Calcutta. And IARI, Indian Agriculture Research Institute. It is also situated at New Delhi, and it will monitor all the species about agriculturally important. As the India is one of the major agriculture-based country, all the croplands are monitored here. All the experiments on croplands are going here. All the new species and new varieties of high yielding varieties of croplands are experimented from here only and disseminated throughout the India. And the next one is FRI, Forest Research Institute, which is located at Dehradun, with the main objective of to conserve the forests, to stop the deforestation, to arrest the process of deforestation, and to conduct the experiments on afforestation and totally to improve the botanical wealth or forest wealth or plant wealth. This is the main objective of FRI, which is situated at Dehradun. Dehradun. These are the botanical gardens. And what is the significance of botanical gardens? What is the significance of botanical garden? So, the first point what I said is these botanical gardens are stood as the motherlands for the various kinds of plant species. This is the first significant. And the second significance is we can preserve their rare, endangered, exotic and pandemic plant species. Exotic pandemic species means what we are introduced from other countries, or also we can grow here. So this will be the second importance or significance of botanical gardens. And the third is the most of the wild species. So some of the species can able to grow at wild condition. They cannot grow in cultivated or in domesticated condition. But the persons, those who organize the botanical gardens, can able to grow them, those species. Those species means though the those species which are growing it in wild condition, also they can grow here. They can able to grow here, and thereby we can preserve the original germplasm. The original germplasm means the original germplasm like wild in condition. That kind of germplasm can be preserved by the organization of botanical gardens. And the next one is due to due to the presence and construction of other equipment like polyhouse, greenhouse, polytrans, and these mist chambers, all these, we can grow different plants can able to grow in different atmospheric conditions. So this is the situation. We cannot grow all the plants at all kinds of atmospheric conditions or environments. We can grow them different plant species at their respective conditions, at their respective environmental conditions. This can be possible in botanical gardens only, not in outside the botanical gardens or in by nature. By nature, it is not possible. It can possible only in botanical gardens. This is about botanical gardens. You will be asked for 10 marks about botanical gardens as ex situ method of conservation. Ex situ method of conservation. You know? So when you asked only for botanical gardens, they will not be a confusion. You can rightly attempt about botanical gardens. If you asked for ex situ conservation in paper A2, you have to write gene banks also. Gene banks also in addition to botanical gardens. Then what are gene banks? Gene banks are nothing but gene banks are nothing but the propagules are you can put it as a side heading as gene banks. So the gene banks are nothing but the propagules are tested for their longevity, and they will procure for a long time. The places of procurance of propagules, the places of write down the places of procuring of propagules after testing of their longevity after testing of their longevity. So here we can see three three abstract words. What are these three abstract words? Longevity, longevity, propagules, procuring. If you understood these three words, you can understand what are the gene banks. You can able to understand the gene banks. So the first one, the places of procure. The second one, the propagules. What will be tested? The propagules will be tested. What is meant by propagule? A plant plot which can able to propagate. The plant pot which can able to propagate is considered as propagule. For example, some all the plants can propagate through seeds. So you can procure seeds. And some of the plants that are vegetatively grown plants can propagate through vegetative plant parts such as buds, buds, leaf cuttings, stem cuttings, sets, rhizomes, suckers, runners. These are all vegetatively propagated plant parts. They are also considered as propagules. Whereas sexually propagated plants will give rise seeds and they will propagate through seeds. So all the either it may be sexually propagated like seeds, or they may be asexually or vegetatively propagated by vegetative means of propagules. All these propagules will be tested for its longevity. How can of time they can they can able to store, what is their life period, all those they will be tested, and then they can store those places. Those places are considered to be gene banks. Gene banks, you can see all these propagules can be stored at at minus 190 to 270 degrees centigrade also. That means at very low temperatures. At very low temperatures. This is termed as cryopreservation. Cryopreservation. Cryopreservation means procurance or storing or conservation of propagules at very low temperatures like 170 to 290 degrees of minus 170 to minus 290 degrees of centigrade. Then these germplasm, these propagules can be long live. They can long live and they will be procured for long time. For long time. And also you can see some semen for veterinary purpose. You can see in veterinary hospitals. So these sperm collection will be stored at minus 170 degrees centigrade. This is also comes under cryopreservation. For example, you can see what we use commonly in our houses at domestic purposes, our freezers. Our freezers are also conserve of some kind of germplasm for their longevity up to minus 10 degrees centigrade. Our domestic freezers are working about minus 10 degrees centigrade only, especially in deep freezers. If we keep any substance at deep freezer, it will be there at minus 10 degrees centigrade and it will be long for some time. So this also comes under cryopreservation. It also comes under cryopreservation. So for this, we can see some gene banks, Tropic Botanical Garden and Research Institute, Thiruvananthapuram. Examples you can write Tropic Botanical Garden and Research Institute, TBRI at Thiruvananthapuram. And the second one is NBGRI. You know what is NBGRI? National Bureau of Botanical Genetic Resources. Plant Genetic Resources. NBPGRI at New Delhi. CIMAP Lucknow. What is the full form of CIMAP? CIMAP. Can anybody can say? Can anybody of you can respond with full form of CIMAP? ఇవన్నీ వచ్చాయి మీకు ఇంతకు ముందే. ఏ1లో రాలే, ఎక్కడ ఒక రోజులేండి. మీకు అసైన్మెంట్ ఇస్తాను, అసైన్మెంట్ క్వశ్చన్లు పెడతాను గ్రూప్లో. దానికి అసైన్మెంట్ రాసుకొని వస్తేనే మీకు రికార్డు సంతకం, అదర్వైజ్ మీకు రికార్డు సంతకం ఉండదు. ఏదో ఆ టైంకి అటెండ్ అవుతున్నారు, ఏ రోజు ఆ రోజు వదిలేస్తున్నారు. వాట్ ఈస్ ద యూజ్? No use. Then CIMAP, Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, Lucknow. RRL, Regional Research Laboratory. Regional Research Laboratory, RRL, Jammu. Jammu. And also here you can see again ICRISAT. ICRISAT is also procuring at cryopreservation as gene banks. As gene banks. And also IRRI, Manila, Philippines. There also gene banks are being maintained. So these are some examples for gene banks. Then you have to where we have completed our syllabus. Up to here, two papers have successfully completed. The third paper may be completed by our botany sir, Ramarao sir. Is it completed or not? Is it completed or not? Respond one. ఏమ్మా అవలేదా అది అవలేదా ఓకే I will post you. I will post today or tomorrow. Today or tomorrow, some questions. Two 5 marks questions and two 10 marks questions each paper for A1 and A2. Are you able to understand? For A1, you have to write two 5 marks questions and two 10 marks questions. For A2 also two 5 marks questions and two 10 marks questions. I will post questions in the group. Whenever I post these questions in the group, and you can write an assignment and submit them by the time of certification of your record books. When you are going to be certified these record books from 23rd onwards, you will be have practical examination. So you don't come tomorrow. From day after tomorrow, any day you can come. Any day you can come. I will give you total 3 record books and I will prepare you for the practical examination. While you come for this practical record books, you have to bring these assignments. Without coming with the assignments, you will not get signed the record books. Understand? అర్థమైందా? Okay. You can looking for the questions in the group today or tomorrow. You can looking. Wish you all good luck. So this is the last class for you. I wish you for your good success, all the success, and you can write well in examinations. And I will see you before going to practical examinations in the college physically. You have to appear. You can call with others and you can come on one day as group. It is easy to our conduct of practicals. It is very easy. It will become easy. Understand? Okay. Okay. Good luck for all of you. All of you, good luck. Have a nice day. All the best.